just to be able to, kind of coordinate this, and what does it just mean to you and Mary to be able to function with this?
Yeah, we're very fortunate to be in a position to give back. We have probably 10 or 15 founding members who came to me and said when I got here, hey, look, we'll support your foundation along with your family and give back to the community of Georgia. And we started in Athens, and it kind of bled out to Atlanta, Valdosta, Savannah, Macon. I mean, we have applications online, and we had the highest number of applications we've ever had. I think over 500 or 600 applications. We gave to 175 something organizations. We're now at $2.5 million given dollars over the lifetime of the foundation. And, I mean, it's anything and everything, from homeless to Boys and Girls Clubs. We love doing it because we want to give back to others. It's meant a lot to me, and it teaches our players and my family, my kids, a little bit about giving back. So it's been really good.
Why is it so important for you to also be that role model for your student athletes to see why it's so important?
Well, they're able now with NIL to give back. So we had 4 guys that came up, I think before y'all came in, Jordan Hall, Chris Cole, Justin Williams, and Austin Lucky, who are our community service kings. I mean, they do the most community service. They give back. Jordan Hall took his NIL money and bought PlayStations, I think it was, for local kids in the community. I mean, if you set the standard and the example, they'll follow. And so many of our kids, like Justin talked about, he was impacted because someone scholarshiped him to play youth football. It's like, I wouldn't have been here today if somebody didn't pay my fee for me to play football as a 5, 6, 7-year-old. So he wants to give back, and that means more to me than anything else that our players are willing to give back.
Do you ever hear back or hear stories of people your foundation's helped before? What does that mean to you?
Each year they do an application. They tell us where the year before's money was dedicated to. And it might be a family with a kid with leukemia. We had a situation where a kid had leukemia, and the nurse that takes care of him full time, we paid for a week-long vacation for that nurse. The caregivers, the ones who spend all the time, day in and day out at Camp Sunshine, places that have touched my life. So those stories, like boots on the ground stories, really make it worthwhile for what we do.
Do you know how many families you've been able to help over the years?
I don't know directly. There's so many different things. We bought a ton of diapers for a local community here, battered women in Atlanta. I mean, there's been tons of them. We named the hospital room in Macon a new hospital. We got to put our family name on that. So there is a lot of good that has come from this, and it leaves a mark, it leaves a legacy. And, we like the more specific stories as opposed to just funding administrative fees. We like to give to a family.
That's obviously a very important word to use program. How does giving back to the community sort of help foster that throughout the entire world?
Yeah, it means a lot to us. I mean, we're going to talk about connection. We live it and be it. And that's why I say to these people, they are doing things on the ground that I'm not doing. I don't have to spend a lot of time with our family foundation. My wife, Anna Horson, now Fabio, runs this for us, does a ton of work for us. My daughter got involved with it, Julia, this year, and helped do it. So it's something that I want to give back to the people who work at these charitable organizations, and they really don't get much thanks. I mean, the ESP staff in Athens is absolutely incredible, and they don't get many days off. They service other people. This is our day to say thank you, and we want to support your organization.
Is there a particular charitable area of giving that's most meaningful to you personally?
Yeah, probably for me it's children's cancer. My brother having leukemia at a young age, having to go live with other families while my parents were in Eggleston. And I stayed in the Ronald McDonald House 2 Christmases where, we didn't have the money to stay in hotel rooms, so we stayed in the Ronald McDonald House, and we support the Ronald McDonald House organization for families that are at Eggleston or cancer families and they don't have a home to stay in. They don't have anywhere to go, so they stay there. And those are special to me because they touch my life. Specifically for my wife, it's breast cancer. She lost her mom to breast cancer, and so she gives to a lot of these organizations.
Do you have specific memories at all being around the
I was staying there. I didn't really understand why we were there, and there was other families next door to us, and we shared living space. But at that time, you didn't know any different. You just did what your parents said.
How special is it that guys on your own team would be a part of it and enjoying it?
Yeah, our guys are incredible. Most of our guys have a charitable organization they choose to give to if they have that capacity, or maybe one that affected them. So I like in team meetings sometimes to play videos of Chris Cole giving back and doing a youth football camp that he did. We play that to try to create that spirit of, well, if he did it, I can do it. You know, Christian Miller's been awesome. He's given back a ton publicly, and he's gone and fed homeless people here locally. So these guys have gotten capacity now with NIL, and I think a lot of people don't see the good they do with that, and there's a lot of good. So we try to reward that by making a big note of it.
I'm assuming it's not like a prerequisite, but do they come up to you like, hey, coach, I'd like to take part and help you or cheer? Is that how kind of the conversation goes? Or is it
usually we tell them we have the event and we ask for volunteers, and we have guys that say, yeah, coach, I'd love to, and jump in. We had 20 guys sign autographs for an hour. They were very patient on their day off, and I love the fact that they were willing to do that on their day off.
Got any more for Coach?
Y'all good, guys?
Yeah.
How was the first practice you guys on Saturday, Coach?
Saturday?
Or the first
What
practice
day
you
is it?
guys? When was it?
Wednesday.
Today is Wednesday, so we were in pads Tuesday, Monday, Sunday, and you're saying Saturday, so yeah, it must have been. They were good. They've been all really similar. They've been spirited, a lot of energy. I told them the pom-poms are out 1 through 6, and then after 1 through 6, all the fun's off. You gotta get ready to go, and that's where teams separate themselves from this point moving forward. Very easy first day in pads. But practice 7 through 14, they'll do a lot more to define a camp than 1 through 6 will.
You spoke last week about being more efficient in the run game, and Mike Bobo was saying the same thing today. Just kind of what does that mean if you guys can do that for the offense for Gunner as far as what you can do?
Define being more efficient, not as many third and longs, right? More than 5 yards per rush, which is a lofty goal. If you rush the ball more than 5 yards per attempt, you'll be one of the top teams in the country. I mean, that's a goal for us. That's what it looks like. Now, how does it help Gunner? I think that's obvious. He doesn't have to have the pressure of 3rd and 7 to 10 every down. It frees things up. It opens up your play action. I mean, all the obvious things, but there's a lot that goes into running the ball better, and that's what we're working on right now.
Josh McCray wasn't against right today. How's he doing?
He's good. He was a little sick under the weather, and we're trying to get him back out there. So he's been dealing with some sickness stuff, and I think he's going to be fine. And hopefully, with the weather conditions we've had, he'll be back in fashion. It's not been as hot out there.
in regards to Gunner, Coach Wiggler said that, his name's Gunner, but he doesn't want him to gun it down the field. What are some areas of growth that you want to see from him now going into this season?
I've seen a lot of growth in the 6 practices. He and Ryan, both Ryans, have done well, and they're both growing up and doing a good job. I mean, he's getting more opportunities at decision-making process with 2-minute drives. He hasn't had that many of them. He's getting more now every day. It's red area. He's just getting more opportunities to make good decisions, and he continues to do that. I think avoiding catastrophic moments is what's important.
Coach, you talked about the team's tradition a little bit in the spring. What has been
Well, they've been blessed. They've been, and I've tried to make it a positive. I think that it's easy to sit back as a coach and say, oh no, we haven't had to eat, we haven't had the mental fatigue or the tough moments in camp from a temperature standpoint that we typically have. I'm trying to use that as a positive to say, you know what, we can play faster, we can get timing in the passing game. We don't have to worry about mental exhaustion mistakes because they shouldn't be heat exhaustion. They might be mentally tired from practice, but not the same as it would be. So the conditioning level may not have been tested like we want to. It has allowed us to take more reps and do more two-spot and get more guys developing, which has been good.
Was this first scrimmage on Saturday any different than the previous year for what you want to see?
Nope. I mean, it's going to be pretty similar. We're going to try to introduce kicking game, see where our freshmen are, give everybody an opportunity to go out there and play 3 groups. I don't see it being different. The outcomes have always been different, but not in terms of format.
You've talked about this being a young team frequently. What are some of the benefits of coaching a young team?
Energy, enthusiasm, non-complacency. That's not to label old teams as that, but you don't have that problem with young teams.
Where did fire, passion, and energy motto come from this year? I feel like every single coach has mentioned it so far.
Yeah, it's a big part of what we do. It just came from feeling like we had 4 DNA traits, and we stuck with those for 3 or 4 years, and we still got them. But we felt like of the 4 DNA traits, we had those. We checked the box on all 4 every year. But there was something missing, and we felt like maybe that was what was missing. And maybe that's missing all over college football, or not all over, just in pockets. And if you don't have that, then you may not have success. So we wanted to reward it, talk about it and make it a DNA trait, because it wasn't in our DNA traits before.
Obviously, we fire passion and energy around here every day through the day. But as an outside observer, what does that look like in between the stuff we get to see? How does fire passion and energy pop up?
Relentless effort, connection, rewarding a teammate, hand on a helmet, body language. You know, it's more than just how you play. It's what you do between the snaps.
And you felt like that was lacking in previous years?
No, I don't know it was lacking in previous years. I just know that we want it and we want to reward it. We've always had some form of it, but it's the analogy of small campfires. You can have all these little small campfires, or you can have a burning inferno. And we want a burning inferno. We want all those campfires to come together and be 11 burning fires, not a couple of burning bushes over here and over there. Thank you guys.
Nice, guys.